Who are your famous celebs? Have some of them been on the type 1, 2, or 3 celebrity list? Today we're looking at type 4, that quality of being stunning that's created by type 4 movement. I'm Carol Tuttle, the creator of energy profiling, which teaches you 4 types of movement that expresses in our true nature, which includes our behavior, our character traits, even our facial features and body language. And you're going to see it in some common qualities in these celebrities' faces. But start with our face profiling video for type 4 faces. Make sure you watch that so you understand the mechanics of this, because it's very helpful in your everyday life. If you can profile somebody based on those different expressive movements, their character traits in their face, their body language, some of the nuances in their behavior, you'll be able to have a more reasonable expectation of how to relate to this person and what they're like very quickly. It's a very powerful body of work. How has it been life-changing for you? So type 4 movement is that linear, still. It has a quality of stillness, reflectiveness, of being aligned, singular focus, has a high contrast in its movement, and that creates a boldness in it. A very distinct, expressive movement of just knowing what it wants, being very clear, very thought out. Let's take a look at some type 4 celebrities and see which ones you think really are like, yeah, that's obvious. And then there might be a couple here that are not so obvious. This is just a small sampling of what I have on the website. If you click on the link in the copy, it'll take you to the post where I have profiled over 100 type 4 celebrities with a lot more pictures of celebrities. But what we're looking for is that kind of reflective, stunning quality that they each express. Let's talk about Samuel L. Jackson, John Lennon, and Adam Levine. They each have a striking quality to them. We could say they're handsome. John Lennon, I think, was more obviously in his behavioral traits, was more reclusive, which is a quality type 4s can be seen as having, that they like to be more solitary and selective in their relationships. And the story is he was the reason the Beatles decided to break up. I've read other opinions of that say no, it was sort of a group decision, but he did become more reclusive and very strong and more defined in what he valued in life by the 70s. And unfortunately, his life was taken in my opinion, too early. He was a musical genius of his day, very type 4 in his expression, even in his music. Adam Levine, we use the word handsome a lot when it comes to type 4 males. And again, has been successful because he's really stayed true to his talent and been able to really be true to himself in the different places we've seen him on The Voice, in the band Maroon 5, and even in some of his solo performances. Samuel L. Jackson, he has a real interesting quality. We don't see it here in this photo, but if you look up a smiling photo, he has a mouth that doesn't turn upward. When he smiles, it becomes a long, thin rectangle, and he has a space between his teeth. So those two movements, the rectangle, the long, thin rectangle, and that parallel line between his teeth, are very type 4. Cher has the high cheekbone with the really defined jawline. She's aged beautifully. She looks great, And again, you might think, well, she's probably had, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff you can do that improve your complexion and your skin without it being intrusive in today's world. So I prefer not to judge people. I have no idea what they've done. I think she looks great regardless of her choices. And those are her choices. And she looks amazing for a woman in her 70s. And she's going on her I think she's done a few times the last tour, but I know she is doing a last tour. Sandra Bullock, type 4. Now, she did very well in the movie. Think of the movie she was cast in where she was alone in space. She was with George Clooney, who's a type 2, but most of that movie, I can't think of the name of it, but it's she was like the only person on screen for so much of the time. Very successful in that role to be able to depict the experience of that as a type 4, being by herself on the screen. We have Judi Dench. She has that quality of white striking, almost a silver quality to her hair. She's just got a poise and a properness about her. And then Halle Berry, I always like to say she's an example of how a type 4 can have less hair and look more amazing. Lesser movement is a very beautifying quality for a type 4. So go to the website, see who you would expect, not expect, and always remember that we're looking beyond the characters. Or typically people will do better in a film, a TV show, when their character matches when their music, the character they're playing, if they're acting, will be true to their type. When it's not, we feel off. We feel something's off. It doesn't feel right. A great example of that is the guy that was in The Matrix that's so well known. And he was in a romance film and he just didn't fit. He was in one called The Lake House, I think. Keanu Reeves was just perfect match for The Matrix. That was one of my favorite movies of the time. And that whole movie's type 4. And he just fit that role so well. In his most recent series he's done, it's a pretty violent film series. His you can look it up, but he did play one role in a romantic movie, and he was so stiff. And so have fun with this and learn more about each of the 4 types at dressingyourtruth.com/free offer, and go check out those celebrity lists. It's been fun talking about this with you, and I'll keep profiling celebrities as things come up. I do that in different spaces on my Facebook page. I do it sometimes on my Instagram channel. And it just depends if who's out in the forefront, who's getting attention, and people are curious what their energy type is. I usually do it during years where we're voting in new politicians at a high level, because people are interested. I don't have an opinion about any of that. I just tell you about what energy type they are. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for subscribing to my channel and clicking the bell so you can get notified when my next new video comes out.